Does the type of SAT prep matter? So a school has decided to offer an SAT prep class again this year. It'll be offered in 2 different formats, online and classroom. Counselors want to know which teaching method will yield higher SAT scores, so they have allowed us to set up an experiment. 50 students have signed up to take some form of the SAT prep. So we have 20 seniors and 30 juniors. Outline a completely randomized design to compare the 2 treatments. Okay, so completely randomized, you have to start out with your sample set. So we have 50 students. You do a random assignment. If they say, describe how you're going to randomly assign, then you have to do that 4-step process. Label, random number generator or hat, and then select corresponding numbers. But if they don't ask you to do that, you don't have to. You can randomly assign is fine. So let's do randomly assign. I think that's easier to write. So you randomly assign the 2 groups. So you have your online prep. Make sure you mark down how many is going to go in there. 25. And then your in-person prep or classroom. What does it say? Classroom. And then there's 25 in there as well. And then they take the SAT and compare SAT scores. So it's not enough just to say compare results. You have to say what you're comparing. So our SAT scores, we wrote that. So the what is the response variable. The how is this is our explanatory variables, because we have online and in class. So this is our completely randomized design. So you could write a CRD. Okay, number 2, the counselors at the school hypothesized that the online versus classroom results could be affected by the grade level of students where they were put in each group, what were put into each group. Classroom students that were put in each group, since seniors simply score better than juniors. So here is an outline for a modified design. We're going to describe it. So this is a blocked design. It's similar to stratifying, but it's called blocking. So a block design, and we are going to block by grade level. So before you even randomly assign, you block them. So we have 50 students, then we block. Then we do our random assignments. And then you do your, online versus teacher. And you'll compare the seniors to each other. And then you'll compare the juniors to each other. And then you do an overall comparison. So it's kind of like stratified, but it's called blocking. Blocking, but called blocking in an experiment. So whenever you block, you want to block before you randomly assign. That way you have two similar groups. So we had the similar group of seniors, similar group of juniors, and then we randomly assigned. Okay, let's go to number 3. The counselors are now worried that a student's GPA is certainly going to affect their SAT score. Let's look at only juniors this time. So we have only juniors. We want to be sure that the different GPAs are being evenly distributed into the two treatment groups. How can we be sure that the GPAs are evenly distributed? Okay, so what we're going to use for this is called matched pair. And the way we are going to match them is we're going to put two students that have very similar GPA together and then split them into online in classroom. So the way we'll do that is put juniors in order by GPA, highest to lowest. So that means you'll have 1 and 2 together, 3 and 4 together, 5 and 6, you get it? And then what you'll do is you'll take the 2 that are up next to each other. So you start out, take 2 highest GPA. And you want to assign them either online or in person. So we have 2 options. So an easy way to do this is flip a coin, and that'll tell them what kind of course they're going to take, online versus in person. Flip a coin. For the first one, for number 1. And we'll say heads is online course. And then the other, number 2, is going to get the other one. Get alternate. So if heads is online, tails would be in person. I guess I should write that. Tails in person, in classroom. I'll kind of put that in parentheses. Then the number 2 gets the alternate. And then you keep on repeating that process so that all juniors are assigned a course. And then you can compare. Okay, so it does say that we had 30 juniors, right? So we'll have 15 matched pairs. So we are going to compare SAT results for the 15 matched pairs. So we have 15 pairs of students, and those will be our blocks. So we don't have to draw this out. We can write it. And any of the ones that we draw, we could also write it to describe. You don't have to draw the figure. Okay, so we're going to put 15 pairs of students are the blocks. So this is called our matched pair design. So you want to compare 2 very similar, but they're getting 2 different treatments. So So you'll see one on y'all's practice that's talking about comparing waterproofing shoes. So the best way to compare that would be one person having one waterproof shoe one way and the other one waterproofed another way. That way they're going through the same elements and you're able to compare left foot versus right foot, and that is the easiest way to see which shoe treatment is better. Okay, let's go to the next page. All right, so we're going to describe the designs. So group of experimental units that are similar. These are called blocks. In order to design an experiment, you're going to state the subjects. So you know how at the beginning we put 50 students. That is stating your subjects. So if you want to write that, 50 students. Number 2, justify blocks or pairs similar if needed. Choose one. So you'll say blocked by whatever, or matched pair, left and right shoe. 3, randomly assigned to treatments. Elaborate if asked or if time permits, stating how many go in each. So definitely state how many go in each. So you say 25 get treatment 1, 25 get treatment 2. You don't have to describe how you randomly assign unless it's specifically asked. If it says explain how you're going to randomly assign these cows to the treatment, then you would describe. Otherwise, randomly assign is fine. 4, repeat if you need other blocks. And then 5, state what you're comparing in context. So you do need to write, comparing in context, your response variable. So an example would be compare SAT scores. Don't just say compare results. You have to say what you're comparing. Remember, you got to be specific. Whoever's reading your test doesn't know, is supposed to act like they don't know anything. Okay, separate subjects into blocks and blank randomly assign treatments within each block. Randomized block. So separate subjects into blocks, then randomly assign treatments within each block. So that's what I was saying earlier. You separate first junior, seniors, and then you do your randomizing. Okay, the matched pair design. This is a block design of size 2. Here are the 2 formats. Subjects are paired and then randomly assigned treatments. Each subject receives 2 treatments in a random order. All right, so you are going to work on these 3 questions to create some experimental designs. Okay, so for our problem, it says describe a completely randomized design for the effectiveness of 3 ads. All right, so what are we starting with? Okay. And then what happens? Yep, randomly assign. How many groups are we doing? Yep. So what are they each doing? Or what do I need to put on the ends of these arrows?
I said add 1, like 1, 2, and 3.
Add 1, add 2, add 3. We do need to specify how many are in each group. Okay, and then what's going to happen after they do the add?
Compare.
Yeah. Compare what? Yeah. Compare effectiveness of the ad. of the ads. We don't know how they're going to compare them. They don't know if, I don't know if they're going to do a test, if they're going to see who wants to buy it. But that doesn't matter. All we know is that we're going to compare the effectiveness of the ad. Done. All right, number 2. Now we want to do a randomized block design. How could we block? What do y'all think? Age? Okay. Anything else? Gender? Yeah. What else?
Did you get a views on the candidate? Like their personal views on the candidate?
Subcount. Popularity. Subcount. Attractiveness.
Attractiveness. How do you rate attractiveness? 1 through 10. Possibly.
For, passive, and then against. For the candidate, they're passive. Political bias. And they're just against.
Oh, yeah. Because what are we talking about? Political effectiveness of 3 ads promoting a specific. Oh, yeah. What about how they're leaning? Are they left or right leaning? We could do that. So political preference, party preference. I'll put party preference. So there's lots of different ways. So you can specify that on yours. The way that I did it was older versus younger. So if you did yours different, that's okay. As long as you can justify it. So I'm going to say older. Older. I'm going to say like, it's definitely going to have to be 50 plus. And then we're going to say our younger group. Even then, we could probably split into 3 groups. Let's say 18 to 49. Yeah, large groups. It would be better if we blocked it and did smaller groups. But this is just an idea of what we do. Then what do we do after we block them? We're going to do random assignment. Okay, and then after you randomly assign, we got to split them into the groups again. So we're going to call this 1A. It's still just 1, still just 2, but A stands for the older group. Oh, that would be B. I don't know why I'm putting A there. B. Okay, after you split them, then we have to compare all of the older to each other. And then this is compare effectiveness of older group. Then compare effectiveness of younger.
Could you not combine them to see the overall picture?
Then at the end, yes. Yep. So after you compare them to their block, then you compare overall effectiveness of ad. Okay, so that takes a little bit more writing. It feels like I'm writing the same thing multiple times. So if you wanted to write it in a paragraph, you could. I just feel like if I write it out like a flow chart, it makes sure I don't miss anything. So that's why I like that. All right, number 3. Why might a randomized block design be preferable in this context?
You skipped justify your choice.
Oh, justify your choice. I wrote some answers, some blocking. So why would we block? Why would we choose older versus younger? I think we talked about it. Right? So yeah, you would definitely want to write your choice. So why would we block by age? Or what did you choose? Gender. Why would you block by gender?
Because it accounts for female and male biases.
Okay, good. Thank you. I got you. Okay, make sure you write why you blocked by whatever you blocked. Because it does say justify. I skipped over that. All right, and then why might we randomize? What happens whenever you do your block design? What does it help reduce? Y'all remember the word? Confounding variables. Variability, yeah. So confounding variables. Lurking variables. Yeah, same thing. So this means there will be lower variability. So you were on track with that word. In the results, making it easier to determine the effectiveness of the ad. This will reduce variability in the results. We can't remove confounding variables completely, just like we can't remove variability completely, but we can lower it. So we'll reduce variability in the results, making it easier to compare. Making them easier to compare.